Hi everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. So we have started this new series Mains AWP, that is answer writing practice with me Arpita Sharma for your UPSC CSE examination. तो अभी हम क्या करने वाले हैं? We are going to start this series wherein we are going to practice one or two questions daily. Okay, one question each in each series because then it will take time for the explanation part also. So we are going to practice one question in each series, and these questions will be taken from different subjects like geography, history, Indian polity, governance, and we will be targeting mains. Okay, this is an answer writing practice series, so we will be targeting on mains. So in this series, my focus will be how to prepare the content in such a manner that you are able to structure a proper answer for your mains, UPSC CSE mains. ओके मेरा फोकस किस चीज पे रहेगा कि आपको कंटेंट किस हिसाब से प्रिपेयर करना है ताकि आप मेंस का कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो उसका आंसर अच्छे से दे सको. एंड व्हेन आई से अच्छे से दे सको दैट मीन्स यू विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू फ्रेम द इंट्रोडक्शन, द बॉडी एंड द कंक्लूजन. All right, so I'll try my best to make you understand how you have to do the research for your content, how you have to prepare your content, how you have to take notes, how you have to understand before cramming, before ratifying things, and then you know how you will be in a position to write the perfect answer. Okay, now students, what they do, they focus on rectifying things, they focus on cramming things, whether it's polity, history. They do not understand first because all of you, most of you have lost the patience that is required for this preparation. Because many students, they send me the mails, ma'am, we are learning everything but we do not know how to write. When you do not know how to write, that means you have not understand what you have learned. आप you did not understand what you learned. Now अभी होता क्या है, बच्चे बोलते हैं मैम हमने लर्न तो किया, हमसे लिखा नहीं जा रहा. लिखा क्यों नहीं जा रहा? क्योंकि समझा नहीं है. When you do not understand, you do not know how to write, with what to start the answer, how to frame the introduction. That happens when you do not understand what you are studying, because you all have lost patience. You are just running to जल्दी से जल्दी हमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा लर्न हो जाए. You do not have to do this. Okay, focus on understanding and then memorizing. So let's get started. Okay, so before we start, here's a small announcement for all of you. See, Unacademy is launching the special prize week. Now here in this special prize week from 10 to 17 November, Unacademy will be reducing all the prices of the combo subscription on Unacademy Plus by 10%. Extra 10% discount you will get if you use code Arpita10, and within 42,000 rupees you will be preparing for 1 year for UPSC CSE preparation GS plus optional on Unacademy Plus. ये 46,000 rupees तो 10% डिस्काउंट के साथ है, इस पे भी 10% ऑफ मिलेगा अगर Arpita 10 कोड यूज करोगे. Okay, so make sure that you make the most of this offer because new batches are starting from 17th of November, and these batches are targeting 2022 and 23 exam of UPSC CSE. The batches will be in Hindi language also, English language also. Accordingly, you can join. And this coming 14th November, we are conducting All India Free Scholarship Test Unacademy UPSC Combat. We'll be making questions from current affairs. So if you win rank 1 to rank 500, you will be rewarded with a scholarship. 11 बजे सुबह 14 नवंबर को ये कॉम्बैट होने वाला है. इट्स फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, इट्स अ स्कॉलरशिप टेस्ट. ओके, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द कॉम्बैट you will see, you will get the video solutions also of the questions that you have solved by the top educators on Unacademy Plus. So do not forget to join this test live on 14th November 11 AM in the morning. The link to subscribe and to enroll in this combat is given below. Let's get started. So the question that we are going to solve today is very easy. If you have studied the NCRTs now, then this question is really easy. The question is, in philosophy and essence, fundamental rights are similar to the Bill of Rights enshrined in the US Constitution. Elucidate. Now, first of all, your vocabulary should be good. Okay, elucidate means you have to explain what is the similarity between fundamental rights and Bill of Rights which are mentioned in US Constitution. Fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution and Bill of Rights of the US Constitution. Now, in the for answering this question, you should know the fair understanding of what exactly is a Bill of Rights. Okay, आपको अगर क्वेश्चन का आंसर लिखना है तो फर्स्ट इन द इंट्रोडक्शन यू विल इंट्रोड्यूस योर आंसर ना. इन द इंट्रोडक्शन यू विल इंट्रोड्यूस बाय writing what are fundamental rights and what are Bill of Rights. Okay, the examiner wants to know what is the similarity between the two. And let's say you are presenting something. Okay, so in your presentation, in the introduction, first you will explain what exactly is a Bill of Rights, because when you do not explain what is fundamental right and Bill of Rights, how can you explain the similarity? Okay, so we'll explain in the introduction what exactly is the basic definition of fundamental right and basic meaning of Bill of Rights. Okay. Then in the body of the answer, we will explain how fundamental rights and Bill of Rights are same. Now here in question it says in philosophy and essence. So we will explain how philosophically and essence wise both are same. What is the common ground on which both fundamental rights and Bill of Rights are standing? The question is very simple and direct. In philosophy and essence, fundamental rights are similar to Bill of Rights. Elucidate. Statement has been given. They are saying yes, the two are same. But you have to explain in philosophical sense and essence wise how they are same. What is that common link which is connecting both Bill of Rights and fundamental rights? And then in the conclusion, you have to conclude your answer. Okay, what essence or what conclusion you got from this entire answer, you have to write it down within 2 to 4 lines. Okay, so let's start answering. Now before that, I will tell you the resources that you must use to frame content in this answer. The most important resource is NCERT class 11th Pol Science. पॉल साइंस की जो क्लास 11th की एनसीईआरटी है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स है बिकॉज ऑन पेज नंबर 28 you have the topic Bill of Rights over here, and this highlighted portion is the definition of Bill of Rights which is mentioned. And on the same page 28, we have fundamental rights of Indian Constitution as well. And these lines that I have underlined, these are very important. ये arrows जो मैंने बनाए हैं, highlight किया है, ये काफी important points हैं describing the essence of fundamental rights. Question is saying essence, and the essence is described here and over here in these paragraphs. So first important point that you do not have to miss is before you prepare Indian polity, make sure you have completed your NCERTs, because NCERTs are considered as the foundation of the knowledge for mains. आप mains में जब static books पढ़ोगे mains के लिए, उससे पहले आपका foundation strong होना चाहिए. Your foundation will be strong if you have the foundational knowledge that comes from the NCERTs. So do not forget to study the NCERTs first. If you are directly studying M. Lakshmikant, you will not be in a position to answer this question. Many students who were studying just M. Lakshmikant, they were confused how to answer this question. Okay, and the students who studied NCERTs, very easily they answered this question and submitted it to me. So make sure NCERTs should be must. Now how to study NCERTs? You do not have to study NCERT and cram it in the first go. Do not commit this mistake if you really want to clear UPSC. Make sure you have conceptual understanding. Without that, you will not be in a position to go up till mains or even up till interview. ठीक है? तो होता क्या है? Even if you clear prelims, conceptual clarity is required in mains and interview. Okay, in the interview round, in the personality development round, even if you somehow clear mains without conceptual clarity, in the interview round you will be stuck. Because the questions will not be taken from the books in the interview round. They will ask questions from your general awareness, from your general current affairs. And if you lack conceptual clarity, obviously it will show in your performance. Okay, so make sure that you build your conceptual clarity. That how can you build your conceptual clarity? When you read this paragraph, do not read it from the perspective of merely memorizing it or cramming it or learning it. Read it like a story. Understand it. For example, here it says, both these examples show the importance of having the rights and of the actual implementation of these rights. Next, they say, a democracy must ensure that individuals have certain rights. एक democracy में, in a democracy, yes, this is the quality of a democracy. You prioritize the individuals. See, I am telling you how to understand what you are reading. Okay, only then you will be in a position to frame answers. So democracy must ensure individuals have certain rights, that is correct. And when individuals have rights, government will have to recognize those rights. जब individuals को rights democracy में मिल रही हैं, तो government भी तो क्या करेगी? Because government is elected by the individuals in the democracy. So government have the duty to protect those rights, yes or no? Right? Therefore, it is often a practice in most democratic countries to list the rights of citizens in the constitution, and such list is known as Bill of Rights. इसीलिए एक डेमोक्रेटिक नेशन में ये कंपलसरी होता है कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में सिटीजन्स को क्या राइट्स दी जाएंगे, उनको लिस्ट किया जाए, उन्हीं को, उस लिस्ट को बिल ऑफ राइट्स बोलते हैं. सो व्हाट इज अ बिल ऑफ राइट? हियर वी हैव अंडरस्टूड, यहाँ पर हमने समझा है, by reading 3 lines I have understood that bill of rights is a list of rights. Okay, you can make such kind of notes. List of rights which is guaranteed to every individual. And where is it guaranteed? In a democracy. Obviously monarchy में थोड़ी guarantee होगा, democracy में होगा. ठीक है? And those rights are protected by and recognized by government. This is how you understand what you are reading, and once you have understood, you will not be in a position to forget it. अब देखो, now you have understood what is Bill of Rights. Now if I ask you what is Bill of Rights, you can explain it to me. Bill of Rights is a list of rights which is given to the or guaranteed to the individuals, where in a democracy which is protected and recognized by government. See, now you have memorized also. This is how you read, understand and memorize. इस तरीके से तो आप पढ़ के समझ के याद करते हो. What is so difficult? Students are asking me, ma'am, how to understand things? अरे, was it difficult to understand Bill of Rights? No. How did you understand it? By reading it, by not pressurizing yourself to cram it. अपने आप के ऊपर प्रेशर क्यों डालना है कि हमें एक बारी में सब रट्टा लगा लेना है? नहीं, रट्टा नहीं लगाना. Give 1 and 2 readings to just understand what you are reading. And then in the third reading, you will realize you have already learnt everything. Okay? Now let us answer this question. So we begin, this is page number 1 and this is page number 2. Now we begin to answer this question. ये 250 words का question था. It will take 1.5 page to write the answer, or majority maximum 2 page. So here first I am writing the introduction. Okay? Now here I will introduce what are fundamental rights and what are Bill of Rights. So in a democratic nation, it is must that individuals know they have certain rights. That is true. Okay, I have underlined democratic nation because it is possible only in a democratic nation where individuals are guaranteed their rights. And also the government should recognize. Now these are the features of rights. Okay, remember this. This is also common between fundamental rights and Bill of Rights. First, it should be a democratic nation. Only then you will be given your rights now. Then those rights will be given to individuals. And the government has to recognize them. Government को recognize करना होगा. Only then these rights will be protected. If the government is not recognizing them, then how it will be protected? Okay, so this is common sense. So in a democratic nation, it is must that individuals know they have certain rights, and also government recognize the same rights. Such list of rights mentioned and protected by Constitution is called Bill of Rights. Okay, this is based on my understanding of Bill of Rights from this NCRT, class 11th NCRT. Now, Bill of Rights I have explained by making an arrow, prohibits government from acting against the rights of individuals. How it is prohibiting the government? Because Bill of Rights are mentioned in the Constitution. Here in the NCRT we have studied, those rights are mentioned in the Constitution. Okay, so when these rights are mentioned in the Constitution, then government cannot act against them. That means these rights are fixed now. They will be protected. So it prohibits government from acting against the right of individuals. Thus it protects and ensures a remedy in case they are violated. When they are listed in the Constitution, government is protecting them. So if they are violated, government will step in and will save the individual. Okay? तो जब ये राइट्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में मेंशन्ड है, गवर्नमेंट प्रोटेक्ट कर रही है, तो मान लो कोई वायोलेट करता है इन राइट्स को, तो गवर्नमेंट स्टेप इन करेगी, रेमेडी लेकर आएगी, सोल्यूशन निकालेगी, प्रोटेक्ट करेगी इंडिविजुअल को. ठीक है? दिस इज द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ बिल ऑफ राइट्स. नाउ लेट अस इंट्रोड्यूस द फंडामेंटल राइट्स. इन इंडिया टू there were no two opinion on the inclusion of and protection of rights in the Indian Constitution. This I have written down from here. ठीक है? ये जो fundamental rights है, it has been explained. See, fundamental rights in this topic, they say, during a freedom struggle, leaders of freedom movement had realized importance of rights and demanded that British rulers should respect rights of people. The Motilal Nehru Committee had demanded Bill of Rights as far back as in 1928. So it was therefore natural that when India became independent and constitution was being prepared, there was no two opinion on the inclusion and protection of rights in the constitution. Same thing we have mentioned over here, that in India there were no two opinion on the inclusion and protection of rights. And the word fundamental means that these rights are so important that the constitution has separately listed them and made special provisions for their protection. This is written over here. Okay, fundamental right, देखो fundamental suggests that these rights are so important that constitution has separately listed them. So all the content you can get easily from NCERT if you read it and understand it carefully. Okay, now we will explain what is the similarity between fundamental right and Bill of Rights. So both Bill of Rights and fundamental rights, they share similarities philosophically and in essence. Below are the common grounds shared by them. दोनों जो कॉमन ग्राउंड शेयर करते हैं, जो सिमिलर ग्राउंड शेयर करते हैं, वो हम पढ़ेंगे. फर्स्ट इज वेरी क्लियर, बिल ऑफ राइट, फंडामेंटल राइट, बोथ आर राइट्स. These rights are given to the individual, protected by the government in a democracy. So first common ground is both of them form the bedrock of constitution because they are mentioned in the constitution and democracy, and both of them grant perhaps most extensive range of rights to the citizens. That is the common ground. Second common ground is both of them protects the basic rights of the citizens or individuals, and the government, if they are violated, will protect them, and the people who have been given these rights will not be discriminated either on grounds of religion or ethnicity or age, etc. Okay, these are protecting the rights of individuals. That means individuals will not be discriminated. Second ground भी समझ आ गया, first भी समझ आ गया. Third point similarity is both Bill of Rights and fundamental rights defines the principal organs of government and the jurisdiction along with the basic and fundamental rights of citizens. We all know whether it's US or whether it's India, Supreme Court is the place where if your rights are violated, the person knocks the door of Supreme Court. Right? So these both the Bill of Rights and fundamental rights, they give you the principal organs of the government which will protect your rights. Okay. Now Bill of Rights, it forms the inspiration to frame fundamental rights, because if you have Bill of Rights, that means if you have a list of rights, then only you can get the fundamental rights, the most important rights. जब आपके पास list होती है पूरी, उसी में से आप fundamental rights निकाल सकते हो. So that means Bill of Rights and fundamental rights, both are linked together. If fundamental right is the end, Bill of Rights is the means to achieve this end. अगर fundamental rights आपका end product है, तो Bill of Rights की वजह से ही तो वो product आया है. तो Bill of Rights आपका means हो गया उस end product को achieve करने का. Okay? And another important point, the question is saying in philosophy, essence में तो we have explained. In philosophy, how both are same. See, B.R. Ambedkar ji, in his last speech in the constitutional meeting, he said very clearly, he talked about equality, liberty and fraternity, and how these three are interconnected with each other and forms the basis of fundamental right and Bill of Rights. Without these three terms, liberty, equality and fraternity, without these three, you cannot get fundamental rights, right? Equality नहीं होगा, fundamental rights कहाँ से मिलेगा आपको? Liberty नहीं होगा, fundamental rights, Bill of Rights कैसे मिल जाएगा? Now one student asked me, ma'am, liberty, equality, fraternity is mentioned in the preamble. How are we listing it over here in this answer? So my answer is liberty, equality, fraternity not the basis of fundamental right? Yes, it is. So when the basis, the foundation, the pillar on which fundamental right and Bill of Right are standing, right? You know, how can we not mention it in the answer? जब जो पिलर है जिसके ऊपर फंडामेंटल राइट और बिल ऑफ राइट खड़े हैं, वही हम मेंशन नहीं करेंगे तो हम आंसर कैसे लिखेंगे? So that is the problem when you do not understand but you रट्टोफाई things. जब आप रट्टाबाजी लगाने में पड़े होते हो ना, तो आपको क्या लगता है, अरे नहीं ये तो इस टॉपिक में है, उस टॉपिक में है. You do not know how to link topics when you are just busy cramming. When you are busy in understanding, you can, you know, maintain the link between the topics. You can interconnect them. That happens only when you understand what you are reading. Okay. So B.R. Ambedkar ji used to say that liberty cannot be divorced from equality. Liberty को equality से अलग नहीं कर सकते. Equality cannot be divorced from liberty. Nor can liberty and equality be discarded from fraternity. Fraternity is unity, brotherhood. Without equality and liberty, without equality, liberty would create supremacy of, the former over many. अब equality नहीं होगी तो liberty में क्या होगा, कुछ लोगों को ही सिर्फ power मिल जाएगी. When liberty is there but there is no equality, that means only few people will have power. If liberty and equality are together, then only everybody will have the same level of operation. Equality without liberty would kill individual initiative. There is equality but no liberty, then how can you be free to act on your ideas? And without fraternity, liberty will also produce supremacy of the few over many. भाईचारा नहीं होगा और liberty दे दी है तो उससे भी नहीं काम चलेगा. To make sure that individual rights are protected, to make sure that individual rights are protected by even by the government, you need to make sure that liberty, equality and fraternity are existing in a democracy. Okay, for example, the right of your religion, okay, freedom of religion, it is also part of philosophy behind fundamental rights and bill of rights both in India and USA, because India and USA are known as positive secular countries. They share positive secularism. We have religious plurality also in both the countries, and we have peaceful coexistence of all religions. US में भी यही है, India में भी यही है. So this is the essence of the similarity between Bill of Rights and fundamental rights, and you can know this if you have understood what you have studied instead of focusing on cramming things. So this is how you answer the question. See, what was so tough in answering this question? It was the most easiest question, right? So this was your question number 1 for today. I hope you enjoyed. Now if you have any doubt in this lecture, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Do not hesitate at all. All right.